That's how I discovered that. Yeah, that would be a disaster. Installation was successful. Okay, I can see from the top. I'm gonna clean all the threads all around, okay, because you don't want to compress. I don't want to forget it right now. I mean, I'm still waiting for parts, so it will take time, but I don't want to forget it, because if you press the oil that it's possible to be in here, you can actually crank something. And I'm gonna start from the top, see what's in there. This is pretty clean. This is clean. I'm just going around, rotate that. Plus I learned from Brad the Wizard. Check out this guy, he's great. On he's a Harley Davidson mechanic, and this and this, don't torque them too much, because he's explaining why the kind of like something is like he's putting a minimum torque on these two. Okay, I'm going to be doing the same. I use electrical contact cleaner, so let's start with this one. Okay. Okay. Right. I have already put assembly lube on these bearings, and we're gonna remove them, and of course we're gonna replace all these O-rings. 2560, and this is the installer. You see there's a little power here to push the bearing inside. This is the one. So see, there's a little curve here to go all the way in, right here. Right here, this looks like not even 1 millimeter. Okay, this is the one. This is the installer. So the installer, it will stop right here. So that means the bearing will be like approximately 1 millimeter inside. Of course, you install it with the letters outside. Okay, that means you see the letters here. It goes like that. In. Let's see if I can compress this a little bit. Just very careful. So you can go easy inside. Yep, I really don't want to tap it or hammer it, whatever. It really makes me nervous. Alright, let's start using the tool. I have greased the bearings with the assembly lube. I have depressed the jaws from the tool so it will not push the needles out of the bearing. I have also lubricate everything. I don't want to tap it, because if an accident happens and the needles fall off the bearing inside the crankcase, you really have to open the engine. You're really going to have a bad day. So let's do it very carefully. I take a lot of time, plus I discover a little problem. You're going to see it later on in the video. Okay, I'm lubricating everything. I will insert the rod with a little bit assembly lube into the tool, and I slightly tap it. I have no choice, and just open the jaws by holding it back so it will not touch the crankshaft flywheel. Okay, putting the washer and the nut.
lubricate as well. Okay, just give it a couple of rotations so it will grab the bearing slowly. You have to actually kind of like feel it with your left hand, make sure it's stable. It will take more rotations before the bearing get loose. You're gonna hear the noise. That means the bearing got loose and it start coming out. So this is another important step. As you can see here, it's slowly coming out. It will take a little bit of time, so you don't force it. Take your time. Okay, you hear the noise, it got loose now, so it's coming out much easier. But I also use the caliper. I have measured the bearing before and I know how wide it is. So I can, follow the tool with my caliper just to make sure the location of it. Okay, also make sure you measure the rod before you do everything. Test the tool on your desk and push it in. Check out how far it goes and to open the jaws. Okay, do that on a bench, on your office or whatever, and make sure you mark it. So when you put it in, you know where to stop. Okay, now the bearing is out. As you can see, the rod, it's not all the way flush to the other side. I keep it like about 1/8 of an inch in. I didn't want to press the jaws too much. It's actually a feeling. You have to really feel it, how much it needs. Yeah, but it has to go on that particular location to be able to grab the bearing.
Because the metal is very soft, I decided not to go all the way in, and it felt really good and stiff. When I have to like lightly hammer it a little bit. I have no choice. It doesn't go by hand. This is plenty right here. Looks like about 1/8 of an inch till the end to grab it. And here there is plenty of material, so it will not scratch the outer. Okay, but you really have to feel it when you put the rod inside. You really have to like feel it. It's not easy. Okay, the letters going towards you outside. This is a Koyo. Alright.
Okay, since I have never done this job before, I'm taking a couple of measurements with the caliper just to be sure. And now I try just to locate the tool into the cam area. Alright, just lightly tight the bolts, and this is where the problem is going to start with this particular cheapo tool. As you can see, I have problem to pull the lower bolts that came with the kit, and I have used the stock bolts. Look, my left hand, with my finger I can actually touch the bearing, make sure it's on the right position.
Okay, I can see from the top the bearing was in place right there, and I used the original bolts here because I didn't want to strip the threads.
Okay, I'm about to use the tool, looks good, but I double check and look what happened.
I don't know if you can see it from the camera, but it's right in place, right there, hopefully.
Okay, now I'm checking everything again, and this is what I found. Look, my nail, my finger, it feels a little bit space there. The tool was not flat. I took it to the bench, I took the caliper, and this is what happened.
Okay, the thing is, the oil plug, it's 9.52 centimeters, and this one was like 9.27. All right, so let's see if this is going to fit. Otherwise, I was worried the bearing is going to go crooked. That's a disaster. All right, right here. See, now it's going in. I couldn't feel it with my nail that something was wrong. Ah, thank God I see it. Okay, so the hole was not right. I open a little bit. This is 954 millimeters, sorry, and that was like 927. So we gotta be careful with this cheapo stuff from Amazon, really. All right, okay, we got the letters out. Give it another try. I'm gonna check, of course, for any particles later on of metal. It's all the way in. I gotta double check.
Okay, since it was my first time doing a job like that, I pulled the tool back a little bit. I saw the bearing, it needed a little more, so I reused the tool and have set the bearing properly, about 1 millimeter inside. Okay, the tool worked good on this area, and it did put the bearing all the way in on the proper position.
We did it, so make sure it rotates. And just put a little bit of oil. And I'm gonna lube, assembly lube, but they rotate free with a little bit of oil. So I think they're like a couple of thousand inside. It's not supposed to be flush. It's about the same, I can feel it. But the most important is, and I can feel my finger on the rear, there's a little space. This tool really gave me a hard time. This nut here, it comes loose when you install it. Okay, I mean, I did it, but this is like one-time use and I don't recommend it. All right, plus the oil hole here, you have to open it. Otherwise, you either gonna strip this. This is the oil from the filter. All right, I'm gonna clean everything. I used my bolts, the original bolts, because I didn't feel good with the bolts came with the kit. All right, I don't know, they just didn't feel right. Maybe something with the threads or something. I just didn't feel right, so I hand tied it and make sure that plate is flush. And of course I'm gonna clean everything here before we do any installation. Also make sure there is no oil dripping into these threads here. It always drips. It's from the filter. I should have removed the filter, but I do it in a later time. The installation was successful. The removal was successful. I really was very nervous with the whole thing. Okay, cover the axle with something, and looking good, but it's not easy. You make sure you have plenty of time and you get a different kit, better quality, babe. I will never use this again, or I will never give it to anybody. Just like, you know, just that's it. We did it. Let me clean my hands and lubricate this a little more with assembly lube. Okay, looking good. We did it. Oh man, not an easy job. One thing is this rod that you push in here to spread the jaws so you can grab the bearing is like falling. It's very soft material, so these particles of metal, they're falling into the cam area, so you have to clean the cam area extremely good after you work with that thing. Look at that. Yes, look at that. It's really falling apart. Not very good quality metal. It's a very soft metal for this kind of job. This is too small. This is 9.27 millimeters. On the bike is 9.567 millimeters, something like that. And if I put my nail on the back of it, and I figured out that was like not flush with the main body of the bike. That's how I discovered that. If I have tension this thing on the bike, I will damage. Okay, that would be a disaster. And I have opened it with a drill bit. Okay, very important. Also, do not use these cheapo bolts. I use the original bolts. If you try to put them in, you're gonna understand why. Okay, so that's another tip. But I have done the job already. Everything works fine. The new bearings, they are inside there and they work. They rotate good. We're still working on the bike and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna start now cleaning the parts. Everything. This one's here. Okay, see you guys later. We'll continue.